But that didn't stop him. I mean, he knew that he could learn how to build a home somehow. So he took courses, and he asked adults to help him, and clearly he has developed skills and competencies that any adult would dream to have, and the learning hasn't ended. I mean, today, he continues to give workshops on building homes, and he said he's learned much more now than even during the building of the home, and obviously he would not build it the way he did back then. So I think there are ways for us to measure the quality of the self-directed learning and produce results like Austin Hayes. But one student at Monument Mountain in the independent project really helped me think differently about metrics. And what she pointed to was that we can measure not just this progress of individual students, but really measure the environment that doesn't focus on any particular student. I won't play the clip right now, but examples of how you would measure the environment would be, whether there is, peer support and collaboration within that environment, whether students are getting good feedback from their peers or even from adults, and whether that feedback can feed back into revisions of the project to make them better. Whether students have access to tools of the culture for them to learn different things depending on their interests, and not just to do the work, but to play and explore. And whether the environment connects them to mentors and champions, and whether the environment invites the whole self, even their personal lives, into that environment rather than force them to segregate their personal lives at the door. And lastly, we can look at longitudinal success and measure success depending on what is ahead. And obviously what is coming up is what young people are entering into is a world where they're changing jobs every 4 years and changing careers maybe 3 times in their lifetime. So how do you prepare young people for that reality? And I think you need to encourage them and empower them to take on new challenges all the time and to initiate and execute projects. You can look at one's career, the modern career, as a series of 200 to 300 projects over one's lifetime. So doing them well is critical. Do they generate and sell new ideas to people and get more support? And lastly, do they collaborate effectively? So this is how I see the different metrics, the 4 buckets, and they matter. Some matter more to others. The imposed metrics obviously matter to administrators. Teachers care about the self-directed learning metrics. Students, I think, care most about the quality of the learning environment, and parents, I think, care about future success. So I'm not prescribing any set of metrics. What I'm encouraging is that students, especially who are trying to advocate for self-directed learning, consider the different interests that different groups may have in self-directed learning and try to balance the different interests in their design. And this needs to be their design, first and foremost. We need to get this right, not just for the students who are part of these programs, but for the millions of students who drop out every year. And according to some studies, most of them actually have good grades. It also matters to the millions more who stay in school and feel disengaged and discouraged and maybe even depressed. And so I think the time has come for us to really pioneer new models of learning, and I look forward to seeing students lead the way to do that. And so at this point, we're happy to take some questions. I know we've kind of run out of time, but